Have you ever wondered who the only three people were that God allowed to defy death? Join us in today's video where we look into the mysterious lives of these individuals and how they cheated death more than once. Number 3. Enoch. Enoch is a lesser-known biblical figure mentioned briefly in the book of Genesis. He was the father of Methuselah, the oldest person who ever lived. Enoch was also known for his unwavering faith and righteousness before God. According to Genesis chapter 5 verses 21 to 24, Enoch walked with God after he had fathered his sons, grandsons, and great-grandsons, and became 65 years old. And Enoch walked with God. 3 Then he begat a son and said, Behold, the son whom I have begotten in my old age, he will be a comfort to me and a helper to me in my old age. And the days of Enoch were 365 years. So when Enoch had lived 365 years, he begat a son. His sons were named Jared and Enoch, and he lived on. Unlike many other biblical figures, the details of Enoch's life are shrouded in mystery. However, there are some key moments that stand out, including his unique lifespan, his ability to walk with God, and his eventual disappearance from earth. Now, you might be wondering how this ancient man defied death. Well, it's believed that Enoch was taken up to heaven without experiencing death, making him one of the few individuals who have cheated death. This belief is supported by the wording used in the Bible, which says that Enoch was not, for God took him, rather than, and God said to him, You shall not surely die. Despite the limited information available, Enoch has become a prominent figure in religious and spiritual traditions. Some believe that Enoch was a prophet or a messenger of God, while others see him as an example of a righteous man who lived a pure and holy life. Whatever the case may be, Enoch's story continues to inspire and intrigue people around the world. This suggests that Enoch's death was averted, and he was instead transported directly to heaven. Some scholars interpret this account literally, believing that Enoch's ascension was a physical event that occurred in the sky. Others view it metaphorically, suggesting that Enoch's closeness to God resulted in a spiritual transformation or enlightenment. Ultimately, the exact nature of Enoch's departure from earth remains a mystery, but its impact on religious and spiritual thought is undeniable. Enoch's story has inspired countless works of art, literature, and music, and his legacy continues to be felt today. Number 2. Elijah. Elijah was a major player in the Old Testament, and his story is full of drama, miracles, and even a trip to heaven. In a way, he really did cheat death. Known for his unwavering faith in God, Elijah was a prophet who performed numerous miracles, including the famous instance when he called down fire from heaven to consume his offering on Mount Carmel. He also saved the widow of Zarephath from death during a time of famine and drought. But Elijah's most famous feat was his ability to escape King Ahab's attempts to kill him. When Ahab learned that Elijah had cursed his family, he sent his wife Jezebel to have the prophet killed. But Elijah outran Jezebel's agents and eventually fled to Mount Horeb, where he hid in a cave. In 1 Kings 19 verse 18, it says, Yet I have reserved 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed to Baal, and every mouth that has not kissed him. In this passage, God tells Elijah that although most of Israel have abandoned him, there are still 7,000 who remain faithful. God then instructs Elijah to anoint Elisha his successor and tasks him with gathering the people at Mount Carmel. When Elijah arrives at the mountain, he performs a miraculous victory over the prophets of Baal, after which he is threatened by Jezebel, who vows to have him killed. Fearing for his life, Elijah flees into the wilderness, where an angel appears and tells him to get ready for an extraordinary journey. As Elijah journeys to the city of Bethsaida, where he will be resurrected, an angel strengthens him for the task ahead. It is here that Elijah defies death and ascends to heaven in a whirlwind. In 2 Kings 2:1 it says, "And it came to pass afterward that God would take Elijah up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw him as he was going up, and he cried out, 'My father, the chariot of Israel and its horsemen.'" This event marked the end of Elijah's earthly ministry and the beginning of his eternal reward. Number 1, Moses. Moses was a pivotal figure in the Old Testament, leading the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt and receiving the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. He's best known for his role in the Exodus, where he performed several miracles, including turning his staff into a snake and parting the Red Sea to allow the Israelites to escape from the pursuing Egyptian army. Moses was also responsible for delivering the 10 Commandments to the Israelites, which served as the foundation for Jewish law and ethics. But Moses wasn't just a great leader and miracle worker. He was also a humble and compassionate man who cared deeply for his people. He interceded for them when they angered God, and he led them with wisdom and courage through the wilderness for 40 years. Despite his many accomplishments, Moses' story doesn't have a happy ending. He was not allowed to enter the promised land due to his disobedience. In Numbers 20:10, it says, "Take the staff, O Moses, and gather the assembly together. You and Aaron, your brother, speak to the rock before their eyes, and it shall give forth its water, and the people will drink." Here, God instructs Moses to strike a rock in order to provide water for the Israelites. But Moses becomes impatient and strikes the rock twice, instead of speaking to it as God commanded. As a result, God punishes Moses and Aaron by forbidding them from entering the promised land. However, despite this tragic ending, Moses' legacy lived on. He is revered as a great prophet and leader in both Judaism and Christianity, and his story continues to inspire people around the world with his bravery, compassion, and unwavering faith. Now, you might be asking, how exactly did Moses cheat death? Well, it's believed that Moses' body did not decay after his death, and his body was never found. This led to speculation that Moses' body was somehow preserved, perhaps by divine intervention, and that he may yet return to earth in the future. While this is just a belief and not a fact, it shows just how impactful Moses' life was and continues to be. These 3 men are remembered not just for their incredible stories, but also for the lessons they teach us about faith, obedience, and the power of God. Each of them faced unique challenges and made significant contributions to our understanding of the divine. and each of them left behind a legacy that continues to inspire and influence people today. We love bringing you videos about faith and spirituality, and we hope you find them informative and uplifting. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on new videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.